completely unbiased cast for this North America versus North America game.
Yeah, not something you see every day in a major, right?
Yeah.
What?
I had something that was really rude, so I decided not to say it.
That's a shame.
Yeah. You know what? Self-control is a good
Please, this is an
thing.
NA versus NA game. There's no such thing as BM here.
Is it really? Is it really? It kind of felt like it was the, I say the two non-North American players that kept EG in this tournament. The wall of OG, or formerly, like,
that was
formerly
just an
known
off
as OG.
day. Okay, it was just an off day. You know, and for EG fans, it's just been an off week. You know, they'll get there. They're still, at heart, the best team in the world. Just ask anyone who bleeds blue.
I don't know. People are running low on blood.
Yeah. The EG is sort of like the Black Knight in the Monty Python movie, you know? He's just
I'll bite your legs off.
Yeah, missing a couple legs and an arm, but still formidable.
I remember when I first moved to Germany, and someone told me, like, in the translation, they translated to be funny in German, and presumably it's not "I'll bite your legs off." It's like "I'll spit in your eye," or something like this. I was like, okay, yeah, not as funny. It's almost like as good as like "I fart in your general direction."
Yeah, you can see the Undying pick from OpTic, even into Gyrocopter, just demonstrates how high Peter values this hero. I think it's still underpicked. Not sure I'm as confident to take it into the Gyrocopter because, you know, you just flack and all the zombies are going to die, but such an incredible laner and provides so much value in a team fight along with that self-sustain. Your laning presence with a Luna is nuts. I think that they're going to just crush Sand King Axe, considering both strength heroes. They're just going to get dual decay spammed, and I don't know about this last pick, CK. I love that Sumail's on a playmaker, but how is he going to do up against a Lina mid?
Is this also one of those answers, like eventually, like Luna walks over a lot of lineups into the later game? Like, is the CK just going to be the pure answer to that and the Tombstone as well?
Look how squishy OpTic's lineup is. You know, yeah, Beastmaster and Undying are strength heroes, but they have such low armor. Like, at a certain point, CK, much like Spirits against EG, like, I think they learned a lot of respect for this hero because they realize, like, there's no real counter to BKBs like a Chaos Knight. And there's nothing Luna can buy that allows her to live through a reality rift that pierces BKB at the level 20 talent with, you know, 6 CKs just suddenly smacking you in the face.
Yeah. Like, even if you want to get away, it's going to get reality rifted back down again, so maneuverability items won't work as well. So just quick bearings for our lanes as well. So it's obviously, we were talking about the top lane, the Undying versus the SK. Axe had the creep wave pulled over by the SK, which now also has Luna. They're both farming between their towers, leaves the mid matchup of CC and C versus Sumail, Lina versus Gyrocopter, and then the bottom lane, which is the Beastmaster and Skywrath Mage against the defensive support of Dazzle, combining with a CK. But then again, we were talking about this during the drafting phase, how it's like, we were a little sad that Fly doesn't have like these aggressive heroes he likes to pick up. Like we see Witch Doctor, but it's like Cask and regeneration mainly. But when you combine it with so many illusions of the CK, the Dazzle should be able to actually pump in a crap ton of damage through the heal bomb.
I think it's more about the minus armor from the Weave and the Grave. Whenever you're playing against a draft that relies heavily on burst, the Beast Sky ultimate combo, maybe the Luna ulti, Grave is just such a great tool, especially with an armlet hero. That's the thing. Whenever you have an armlet hero plus the Grave, you're effectively not just leaving a guy at 0 health. It's going to be 500 because you just toggle as it ends. So it's very tough to take a CK down in this game, especially when you don't have too much sustained damage until Lina and Luna have 3 or 4 items up.
This is a fun little duel on the top lane all the time. S4 is copping so much damage. He's already burned the salve, but luckily because he keeps getting hit by decay, it's a very efficient usage of the salve. And Crick continues to bring him experience.
But at least you couldn't pull the first wave, Toby, after the change.
But he pulled the second, and he pulled the fourth. So I think as far as EG goes, they're still very happy with this. Meaning Pyket's also burning. Actually, not burning through that many consumables. I
like what he did, too, where he stacked the hard camp, and I was just going to actually run all the way back to base to grab a win lace and probably look to move towards bottom to help set up kills, because that he gets Axe a game, gives him solo XP, which is so important, because now he's able to lane here.
Well, they're actually going on bottom lane. A lot of damage into Zai. It's all that reality rift, and they have the stick from Fly. The poison touch. And Arteezy just making the most out of it. Just reality rifts in, you get that armor reduction, then you just hit him so hard with that level 2 Fade Shadow Wave.
We've seen this Skywrath picked up early by many teams at this event. What do they like to do in the safe lane in this meta? Pick this sustain-heavy support. But Dazzle offers a hell of a lot more damage output than, say, a Warlock or a Witch Doctor after the Maledict nerfs, because if you catch them with that rift into like just 1 or 2 creeps, that heal bomb is also going to do up to 200 damage. Like, that's very significant when you consider Skywrath has 1 armor. He's already at negative when he gets rifted.
Crit's waiting for the perfect gank in mid. CCNC is... there is an illusion rune on top river. He doesn't see that.
He's 100% dead if he gets caught outside of a creep wave.
Yeah.
He's going to check bottom, but
he's been very defensive about it. Like, he has not gone down... like, he has not gone down that stairwell. He's always hiding back. Crit smoke is worn off, but now you hit nighttime. So homing missiles already on the way, and this was really telegraphed for EG to get these kills. Light Striker Raid, he actually gets it off, but the Burrow Strike Rocket Barrage is still going to be more than enough from EG.
Really well played by Sumail. Micros the illusions to ensure they don't get Dragon Slaved, so that he has the damage output, saves the Q, ensures not a tick is wasted on a creep, and just way too much damage for Lina, where, 800 HP, it's very squishy when you have the magic damage output of a hero like Gyro plus SK.
PPD, I'm not quite certain you really want to battle this. S4 wants to drive the creep wave down, but with a couple of stick charges, he can also just stand there and
oh my gosh,
take the rune.
Look what he's going to get as well on S4. I think he's going to take that over to the hard camp and just farm both. Could backlane a bit. You don't want, like, you can't actually do anything to an Undying, so you want to ensure he doesn't get XP off that hard camp. This makes sense.
So they just keep it in the lane for now. Arteezy's being harassed pretty heavily on the bottom. They get a reality rift, only 1 second stun, but the help is arriving. Comes in the form of the Sand King. Burrow Strike can do it, but he doesn't want to. He wants the kill to go to Arteezy. Push him closer towards those treads and keep your core up high in the net worth.
Yeah. Really liking the play from EG thus far. Yeah, Luna's having a great game. He's free farming, but you're dealt with in this game. You're going to tank a Blade Mail taunt to the face at a certain point. As we said, the CK, the entire game has the ability to deal with you. There's no real way for Luna to itemize against this.
So then you have to push faster, right? You need to add more pressure. But can you do that with the lineup that OpTic has? Undying is pretty damn good to be aggressive if he can sync with somebody. Sumail, okay, he's turning back in for this fight. The Rocket Barrage, the creep wave tanked up so much of it. Sumail tried to commit.
That was
questionable at best.
Yeah, that was an interesting decision. He made the right play. Rockets preemptively to ensure he gets the rune, but no reason to turn around there, Toby. Tries to outplay CC and C, but unfortunately, no matter how good Jordan was, he couldn't drive to the hole against 3 people.
And he was having such a good start as well. This is going to give a better movement now for CCNC. He can start these rotations. He can add the pressure. And that's when I think EG's they were doing pretty good so far. Like, it could be a little bit shakier, even if the CK does counter the Luna.
Yeah,
the rest of the team from OpTic can do a good job. Zai just copping way too much damage. 1 more hit will do it. Burrow Strike forward. They're stunning up the Beastmaster, keeping the distance from Arteezy. 1 charge spell, pulls back in PPD. We've got 20 stolen strength, so he's going to be perfectly all right.
This is such a hard game for Zai in this lane. If he catches a rift, he's dead. And there's really nothing you can do about it. They're going to smoke on EG, but they're going to use the Shrine in Vision, so I believe this will be sniffed out. And the issue with them is that mid lane, nothing can really go up against Lean at this point. He's level 7. Zai's going to refill his bottle. Gyro can't handle this pressure. He's just spamming Dragon Slave, even with the raindrop. I mean, he's still forced out of lane a lot of the time, and it's easier for CC and C to move around the map because he just shoves the lane immediately.
But now, like, I thought the gank was going to go towards mid, but instead it's rotated all the way to the top, so Fly and Crit are looking towards Pycat. And Fly, well, he's going to be revealed. Comes out of the smoke. Pycat says, yo, guys, I got a little bit of a friend here.
He expects him to have Grave. Fly does not, otherwise he would surely just be ulting to secure the free kill.
CC and Seema will be really sad. Like, that haste rune just spawned on bottom. If it was top, Fly's dead right now.
Yep. He'll probably look to go for it.
We'll see. He will. PPD's holding it. Actually, they're backing up. Fly's gone in real deep.
Yep, they saw the ward too.
Yeah, that ward will not survive Fly. But he's close enough to the axe that he can survive this, unless CC and C's just going to Laguna him straight out, which I'm fairly certain he was looking to do.
They actually just abandoned the bottom lane. I'm not sure I agree with that move from EG. You saw them. They were punishing that bot lane so hard. And
Crit's going down there now.
And one thing I hate to do is rotate into the losing lane by leaving your winning lane. And obviously Axe very strong. He's going to finish that Vanguard, but his job is to be up here by himself, create space, get your CK ahead. This hero has no recovery mechanic. You don't shove lanes hard. You need to abuse this early laning phase when you're so dominant.
Normally, like if it wasn't the Axe or the off lane, like I would agree with EG's move because like Crit can get the levels on the bottom. He needs the levels too on this SK. Gets the money getting close towards a Blink Dagger, but S4 needs the same type of thing, and he does the same role. Touch aggression, and CCNC just waits it out in the top lane. Skywrath Mage just soaking up the mid.
Such an interesting movement. And we just have a tri-lane now with S4 with a Vanguard.
He runs
zoning out.
He's running support right now.
I mean, I don't mind this, I guess. Like, bottom lane, though, you have a Beastmaster who's not really threatened by Crit, so I think 3-3 making the wise decision to just not necessarily just shove the lane super hard, but ensure he gets all the denies when possible.
Fairly certain Crit knows, like with 33's Roar, he just needs one person to rotate over to help him. Actually, not even that. Medallion and Courage does so much damage, and he's just he could Axe spam this.
Yep, exactly. This is the issue. Like you...
PPD. DP out, stun. It's going to be there from Chaos Knight and PPD.
Top lane, Arcane Rune.
Does he actually pop anything else off? Flyer's going to be nearby. S4 rotates over. So you can say goodbye to Sumail while that dive was going on.
He grabbed a Arcane Rune and chased CCNC up to the high ground, but Luna was just sitting on the Ancient Tail, popped ult, beam, immediately Sumail dies again.
So the trade-off is the tier 1 tower. So it's a 1-for-1. Sumail does go down, but RTT takes the top tier 1 tower. Bottom lane, Sand King just sealed up and brought down. You knew that was inevitable. S4 will return to keep this bottom lane under control. But then again, CCNC's moving in. Laguna Blade's ready to rock and rumble. Raw needs to come out. 33 waits a little bit longer, so CCNC's in range, so he can Laguna Blade and just Dragon Slave the kill.
And it's such a great decision from 3-3 to pick up this immediate medallion instead of any other build-up.
Fire Striker Ray doesn't connect over on Sumail. Into the call down. Rocket Barrage. They use the Shallow Grave so Sumail can get real aggressive into CCNC. He'll follow up with a kill onto Zai.
Wow.
And then again, Zai, he kills him before. Fly actually gets the revenge.
Isn't it crazy how this gold change works? That was a 2-for-2, yet somehow OpTic comes out 600 gold ahead because the Skywrath gets so much gold for that high net worth target of Sumail. And the medallion, once again, all of these heroes, the Dazzle, the Axe, the Sand King, they go to negative armor. Those Axes hit so hard, and you would think Axe, you know, he's going to taunt, but when he's playing this early game without any armor pieces, if his taunt isn't active, he just dies.
Sentry Ward planted, it was too easy to see him, and hiding inside the Sandstorm does not work against OpTic.
3-3, man. Definitely a star in the making. I think if there's any player that's truly impressed as a free agent pickup this whole season, it's got to be 3-3. Like I said, last time we watched him play, he started as the 4, and now he's sometimes the 3, but often the real carry of OpTic.
A ball like that, just creating more space for the rest of these cores just to do beautiful things. Pykat's having that space right now in the dire jungle, able to stack up himself, and there was a new observer ward that was planted down by EG, so they got a little bit more information, but Pykat's getting free jungle. They're taking the tier 1 tower on bottom. Fortification's only delaying the inevitable.
I do like what they did, though. Like, Arteezy's just been up top for the last 3-4 minutes. They did utilize a big rotation, but they got that tower earlier than the OpTic side, even though OpTic is the ones playing with the Beastmaster, and he's just been up here free farming. So it's what you like out of a CK, but as you can see, he's still behind the Luna because you just simply don't farm as fast.
Yeah. But then, like, how do you counter that? Like, you look for the fights instead?
You kind of want to, but we've seen Sumail get punished on 3 rotations now, and look at what Luna's doing right now. Look at that stack.
Yeah, that's nice. That's real nice.
Peter had made like 2 or 3 just in the jungle, and then they have that huge stack on the bottom ancient. So probably can't do it just yet, but he's taken at least 3 or 4. He just triple stacked another hard camp for himself. Like, Luna's getting huge.
Goodbye, SK. Can you continue to delay the Blink Dagger initiation, and OpTic are taking care of all of these tier 1 towers to control up the Radiant jungle. They'll even get rid of the fresh Observe Ward that was planted down. Axe to cut the trees. S4 can't just slip in close. The rocket doesn't even connect. A CCNC with a double damage ring ready to beat into that mid tower. and EG currently have no way to initiate. They only have a counter initiation, and they have to TP in CK. He's doing it inside the trees. The seal Axe took so much damage. They at least ripped through the tombstone of OpTic. The fortification on the tower just allowed EG as well that extra confidence. Almost like OpTic are finally doing that stack.
Yeah, I mean, it's taken him a long time. I would have liked to see him ask for a little bit of help. Just one nuke from CCNC would have made this much faster. Those new ancients take so long to kill, and they give that whole stack 40 health regen total, and all of a sudden, like, it seems like nothing dies. Sorry, 20 health regen total, and it's nuts. But he does get another stack out of it as well, but he's going to be forced to use 2 salves as well.
It's still still great.
It's worth it.
Yeah. Let the Mask of Madness do some work. Got a shrine in a minute. The rest of that camp is pretty low. Wouldn't be too difficult. But then again, EG's warding vision, because they lost that early observer ward, they committed their secondary ops to watching the top lane. Arteezy wants to fight. After PPD, former teammate now brought down.
He got the RNG there as well.
The extra illusion.
Big part of CK is, do you get that extra illusion before level 12? Because it's a huge increase, right? 2 illusions versus 1. I mean, that kill is not so simple if he doesn't get the proc. But one of the reasons it's one of my favorite heroes to cast and just play in general is it's very luck-based. And as we all know, players, not huge fans. Spectators, it's all about the RNG.
That's what keeps us on our toes. S4 is taking way too much damage. CK is in the neighborhood, going to break the smoke and also takes the initiation. The armlet toggle needs to work pretty hard, but Arteezy 3 heroes on his tail. At least S4 finishes the stack, gets the Blink Dagger, and gets the hell out of there.
They got 3 of those bounties as well on OpTic. Both bottom, thanks to CCNC, who again, making great usage of his movement around the map, something he excels at. He's playing this entire bottom side now that Luna rotated towards top, and something you see VP do, LGD do. You never want to really be playing 5 heroes in one area of the map, especially as bounties are about to spawn. So he effectively picks up 2 hero kills just by playing bottom jungle.
S4's Blink Dagger just got revealed. He walked on top of the Dire Observer ward. They threw down 2 sentries from EG looking for this aggressive ward. Crit in the meantime, bottom lane cops the Laguna Blade. Doesn't die. Able just to walk it off.
Another thing I like CCNC doing is the max Fiery Soul over the stun. Especially when you're playing a more passive game like this, you're waiting for more of your Luna timing. Like, just farm the map and abuse rune control. You farm significantly faster just spamming Dragon Slave with the auto attack damage, or speed rather, or Fiery Soul. You can even do Ancients. Pycat just farming top woods in the meantime. OpTic not really needing to cross the river. Right? Yeah.
Like it's accept the status quo. They've been having 3 people in the middle lane just consistently. 33's now here, because that tier 1 tower is pretty low. Yeah, they would like to finish this finally.
So I was saying before the draft, I think that, you know, pick an Ember or a Storm for your mid hero on EG. Yeah. Instead, they chose to put the Gyro there and take the carry, but all your initiation is Blink required. Whenever you're in that spot, there's no real reach. So now Axe has picked up his Blink, but he feels pressured now to make moves because you know you're in a bit of a hole, and Luna is getting further and further ahead. Yeah, CK will inevitably deal with you, but in the meantime, the mid-game Luna, like, he's 3 levels ahead already.
TP is off cooldown in 3 seconds time. The Axis will clean up the trees, and he'll go Phantasm again, looking to kill off the Beastmaster. The illusions help tank up, at least that Mystic Flare. Cooldown comes in very, very late from Samael. They want to rotate heavily, and they even smoked up themselves, Evil Geniuses, to use that Blink Dagger, but now underneath the Dire Observer ward.
Yep. Arteezy had to play down left. He went up left instead. It removed his team's ability to find the time to cover him.
Oh, Troll Trap, 33? He started the roar.
Top lane, though, they found Luna. He stuck around way too long. Pycat in trouble.
Pycat probably thought that no one else would really come after him, but that's the opposite of what happened. That Observer ward maybe even worked against them. It didn't see the 2 heroes smoked up.
Yep, and it's good, it's interesting when you use smokes in that way where one player is showing, because it gives you this false sense of confidence, as you said, and then all of a sudden you're blink reveal, by the way, by an Axe that came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Ooh. Cheeky 3-3 blocking the top Ancient stack with his bird. Excellent micro player, I cannot sing his praises enough.
I'll look forward to seeing him being a little bit more aggressive now the Shadow Blade's coming out in the Courier. So OpTic Gaming having better ways to be aggressive. They've got the Yule Scepter from CCNC, but they've now also got Beastmaster Raw, which you can just walk up to a big target. That BKB of Samael, which he's now trying to buy, may be completely useless. So Arteezy pressures the mid lane. They're using him as bait. The rest of OpTic are coming over, ready to fight. Now, there's no Phantasm available for Arteezy during this fight. He's not even turning the armor on to beat into the tower. So here comes Beastmaster. Shadowblade close, goes for the Raw. Where's the extra support? Remember, they've still got that shallow grave of Fly. Tombstone will drop Samael. Let the cooldown go. Everything from Crit. It's very good into PPD. They'll take care of him and the Tombstone. Crit kept alive by the shallow grave, only barely. But now it's S4 on the run. A 2-second stop from Arteezy will be enough to control up 33, but Pycat, he's looking to inflict damage, but only into Fly. The sustain is ridiculous. At the moment, they even get the blink call. They're just back-to-back killing evil geniuses. And the Burrow Strike. 3's not enough. Pycat's blocked in by his own creep wave. The traitors of his own dire side will ensure his death. Fly gets the kill with that Shadow Wave. So much physical damage when 4 heroes are surrounding that Luna. And OpTic are in a world of trouble now.
Gorgeous team fight from EG. You could see the heroes that all got low. Who were they? Axe, CK, Sand King was saved by the grave. The sustain of Dazzle is nuts, and they initiated directly on top of the Undying. That's the sustain hero for OpTic. He goes down immediately. Tomb dies just thanks to the flak. Gyro's not even limiting his own damage output. And long fights are always going to favor EG just because of that sustained advantage. And as you saw, Luna's paper, he gets initiated on. Yeah. He's going to get just killed in 2 seconds. Same with Luna.
Don't even know if that BKB is going to help him once he has it up. Like, it's...
OpTic even recognizes this. They're going double Bloodstone. You want to play a skirmish-heavy game, control the map, and find pickoffs immediately. Short fights favor you. EG, you just want to dangle your strength heroes. They take the brunt of the enemy's spells, and then all of a sudden Gyro's killing Tomb, and you turn around to fight because that Reality Rift 6-second cooldown, like, he has nearly 3,000 health on CK with Armlet up.
Yeah, it's a lot. As you said, yeah, it's the double Shadow Blade. Yes, that's what they need. The Luna, however, is still pretty damn big. Even for being paper, that's still 10,000 net worth into Pycat. They've committed a lot to make him work, or at least give him that chance to survive in the fights.
He just needs to be bigger. You need to see him. You're gonna need. OpTic needs Luna to hit 20k net worth before anyone on an EG is like touching 15. If he stays less than an item ahead of his counterparts in the Gyro and CK, you're going to have issues as OpTic. And it's all about the team fights. Yet the Shadow Blades allow them to play around the map, but team fights are always going to favor EG unless one of their critical cores or the Dazzle gets taken out right away at the start of the fight.
Yeah, and that's going to be pretty hard when Axe is going to be jumping in, calling URT's causing a lot of problems as well. And like the Blink Dagger's now on Crit. They've got double initiation. Crit brings the Epicenter, S4 brings the Blade Mail, which is coming on the Courier now. So OpTic Gaming can find themselves killing themselves very, very quickly, very, very easily. So they're going to group up once more in mid lane.
I like the smoke.
Courier's finally bringing in the BKB, but yeah, EG smoked up, looking for a fight. 33's been on top for a while.
If they're showing Artur, but at the same time he's shoving a lane, it's going to lull you into a false sense of security. You're going to be comfortable maybe looking to poke mid.
They're rotating around. So they may even find Pycat.
It's a great angle. And again, if they find Pycat, you know, they need to get him before BKB comes off.
They just landed the Observe Ward, gave them all the information they required. PPD will put the Tombstone down, but there are so many heroes here that they can go through the Tombstone and then into Peter as well.
Great into Roche.
Yep, they are wasting no time. That was Samael's first usage of the BKB too. They were taking no chances. This is such a cleaner run from Evil Geniuses. The CK pick definitely seems to enable them so heavily.
Oh,
but
it's a great
at least their execution's been good.
Yeah.
The only questionable thing has been what that rotation to top at the beginning with us. Yeah, that was kind of it.
You know what it did? It bought them time, though. That early to mid-game transition, usually you see some skirmishing, maybe a fight around a tower. They avoided that completely. So they're just, now it's 22 minutes. I feel like you're in a commanding position if you're EG. You're very confident with this.
Oh, and Chris dead. Okay, maybe he's not. There wasn't enough mana on CCNC. He had the 1 charges. He could have just Laguna popped Crit, but decided against it.
And that's the thing. The BKB for now is great, but in 5 levels, Reality Rift can ignore it. But OpTic wanted that fight that EG just took to go favorably. They wanted the Roshan, and now your timing is going to be 10 minutes or so from now, and Luna really doesn't have that lead in net worth you're looking for, because once again, you have 2 methods of BKB piercing disable on EG. really, a Beastmaster Roar, that's not going to be enough because there's always a Dazzle in the backline ready, and Fly's played a perfect game. He's 4-0-7.
They're trying to force an engagement while Phantasm is down. That's the only thing that can happen right now from OpTic. They have no control of their own jungle, so they take the tier 2 tower on bottom.
That's all they can do.
And try and find a fight with the 10-second BKB of Pycat.
Meantime, I like this choice. They gave Aegis to the Gyrocopter. Jamel going drums, BKB, Ags. Just getting tanky. Like, whenever you have a Dazzle, abuse just tankiness. Because it's so hard for you to actually go down with Grave on such a short cooldown. 15 seconds when it's maxed out.
They're going high ground. Lina, well, because she can walk back. Skywrath Mage finally gets the TP. It just came on the courier. But Pycat doesn't have a TP scroll. He's not here to defend it. If EG knew about this, Pycat's running over. Okay, now he's got one. The courier came back again to give him a TP scroll.
It's so hard to threaten high ground. You just want to make sure you force somebody back into the base. Now you can go catch your lanes.
Just where we had a C9 moment for a second.
Not quite that bad. If CK ults up, maybe that can be a play, but
yeah. Actually, if CK's heart is up, that may just still be a play. Like you don't even need copies of TZ. He's going to be so damn strong once that heart's done. That's
the issue for OpTic. Until they get 3-4 items up on Lina or Luna, like we said, they can't actually deal sustained damage throughout the fight. They just tickle him. He's going to have 4,000 HP with Weave ticking, and at any point, the burst damage he can output with the illusions critting, like.
And there's such defensive items as well coming in from OpTic. Like CCNC built the plate mail so he can just like Shivas or whatever he needs to do with this, and then you're getting a Skadi from Pycat. So no extra like just straight up butterfly or anything along these lines. He knows he needs to just tank up.
It's funny, this is one of the few times I think you actually want to go a different direction, specifically on Lina. I think you have to abuse damage output and positioning, not tankability, because you're still going to die to CK.
They're going after the CK. Have they got the damage available? Raw, they control him in S4. Such a quick Yule Scepter from Zai. Sends him up and towards the air. They just go straight through the Blade Mail. And EG giving 2 kills over. And they may find more. Concussive shot flying down towards Samel. BKB TP's out. There's no Raw. There's no Sun available. And they don't have the damage to get through him, but...
What are they doing up there? They have 2 wards as well. And they're just caught napping. I mean, if you're going to make this sort of play, like farming enemy woods, you got to make sure your team is close by.
We cursed them. That's all it was. Started talking about like how smooth EG's play is, and OpTic Gaming get exactly what they wanted. Like they get 2 huge cores isolated one by one. They bring them down.
I mean, said it best. I don't know, Axe S4 going for the Crimson Guard. I actually think he might have wanted to pipe this game just because of the Skywrath Luna factor. Crimson's great, but other than, like, Beastmaster's not even going Necrobook. So, other than the zombies, which are getting killed off by the flak, what's the Crimson really for? Yeah, the Luna, but I think you're actually, Lina Luna, never mind. I take that back. It's fine.
Yeah. There's enough justification for it. The issue is still just going to be, like, can OpTic Gaming continuously get these picks? Like, you just got to pick like that on top lane, and you just hands down win the fight. Because it was CK as well. Now they get more information. It's like Arteezy was looking to initiate on Pycat, but the rest of his team was too far away.
Not just that, but I mean, OpTic did realize it, but they could have just taken a fight there. Look, they had a ward. They saw Dazzle, Gyro were still top lane. Like, EG's got to slow down a little bit. They're in a good spot still, but this game is anybody's.
What is it? You can look at EG and say they look so smooth when they're playing ahead, like when they're ahead of the game. But you get tested, you fall apart, and you actually... Okay, and even dust being popped. I don't know if they felt something was near them.
And you want Arteezy hard before you take a team fight, but in the meantime, Pycat, he should probably finish that Skadi. Aegis fades on Gyro. He has Ags on the way. You're going to get this bottom tower most likely for free, but I feel like EG could have done this a lot sooner. They played top jungle so long, then they had to lose those 2 cores.
It may not be for free.
They have vision
it's a
set up, though.
5-man smoke up. The Observer Ward didn't see it. And it looks like now PPD, like he's going to put down the Sentry Ward. He's going to start dewarding, breaks his smoke in order to do this. But the Observer and Sentry from EG is on the other hillside. So they're going to go for a full wraparound to make this work. The Aghanim Scepter just got completed. PPD, the courier flies right over the top of EG, but it's the full wraparound. This almost feels like the play moment Be ready for it. Phantasm out. They go for the jump in. S4. He only gets an illusion. The tombstone's down. A nice spot. Crit is waiting for the right time to strike, but hasn't found the moment just yet. They actually see him. He has to Burrow Strike away defensively. And now OpTic own the Radiant side of the river, and EG own the Dire side. We're playing switcheroo.
Perfect play from OpTic. They sniffed out a trap. S4, if he lands a taunt on anybody, that reality rift you could see canceled because he lost vision. You could not take that fight. Good BKB from Sumail, but OpTic with that split-second decision. We cannot do this. Like, EG was ready for that. And like I said, their team fight is nuts right now if they just get those spells off.
They have to get rid of the Observer and Sentry on the hillside. PPD just walks in and just takes it for the team. But will it be enough? The three-man light strike array. The control is good. Turning into the Eclipse. Now that Guardian groups, it will not do anything to actually protect you. Sorry, Crimson Guard. 3 seconds done. Have they got the damage to get through the Lunar? Arteezy only barely does it as the SK sent up in towards the air with an epicenter by the Yule Scepter of Zai. Can Burrow Strike over. Fighting CCNC. Another light strike array will do the work until S4 comes in for the dunk. Gets the kill. It's a 3-for-3 trade-off. Crip wants to go for more. Blink Dagger off cooldown in just a couple of seconds. If he stopped getting hit by axes, he could blink forward and Burrow Strike on Zai, but just being denied the maneuverability. 33 may not be done yet. He's got Roar available. S4. They saw him under the Observer and Sentry, and 33 will back off.
Great team fight by two great North American Dota teams. I like the decision from OpTic. You take that fight. They let Undying die. He has no tombstone, not quite level 15, unfortunately, or as Bulldog said, that feed would have been extra value, but you want to take that fight with the BKB on Sumail down. You know the Phantasm is ticking out, but still could have been way worse for them. Watch this. You're going to see them wrap in. Undying's like, hey, I have no spells. I'm just going to walk in here and feed. He doesn't get the D word off, unfortunately, but pre-BKB from the Luna, the three-man Light Strike array might have actually just saved the fight, in truth, because I'm not so sure it goes this favorably for EG, and it was still 3-for-3, so no one really comes out ahead of this, but S4 lives 64 HP, and he's going to come back in on the backside in about 5 seconds to finish off the Lina. Crit makes a super good heads-up play. CCNC a little out of position. That's part of why I prefer him to have, say, a Hurricane Pike instead of this armor piece, because you're too squishy. This whole game you're going to be squishy. I want him to be able to play further away from the fights and deal more damage, because that's always going to be OpTic's concern. Who's actually going to be dealing damage if the Luna gets taunted?
But you also understood why he picked it up. Like, we were talking about how much paper OpTic felt like and how hard it is to survive against the CK. You needed something like this to do it. Like the plate now, but now maybe... I'm telling you, it's not going to matter when he gets hard, Toby. He's just going to die anyway. They don't have real save. It's not like anybody's... There's no grave on his team. EG are coming to fight once again. Once more, they show with one player pushing the lane. Arteezy so far up, but OpTic aren't idiots. They know something is wrong. They have a fresh Skadi over on the Luna. The BKBs are off cooldown. CCNC's looking for a target. Observer Sentry, he walks under S4, wrapping around the back, looking for the perfect call. The Tombstone's down, but then again, S4 Yule's out of this fight. The damage is so quick into Zai. He's got a couple of 6 charges, actually gets the Mystic Flare off for Shallow Grave. Arteezy, he's living through this, wants to wand and toggle, but he just can't do it. And the Eclipse from Pycast, way too good. Both S4 and Arteezy down. Fly will join him in the afterlife.
It's not the heat. It's
terrific fight from OpTic.
Yeah, I mean, it's just straight up DD threatens the Gyro out of the fight. They both pop BKB, but Sumail can't stand his ground because there's a Skadi Luna hitting him for double damage. It's just that simple. They're both trying to do the same job in the team fight, but...
Oh, Zai, 1 second was the difference. Okay, 2-ish. PPD checks it once again. They see that Roshan's up and notice how they instantly back away from the tier 2 tower. They really want this Aegis and cheese.
It's a great choice. And once again, 3-3's items. I psyched myself out. Crimson Guard's excellent. Especially, like, both teams have one. Okay. I was talking about EG's. OpTic is very good.
The Crimson Guard didn't help them in the bottom lane fight, but this fight, it worked wonders.
You can see their window to win those fights. Luna ran in, BKB'd, 3-3 immediately pops the Crimson Guard, Tomb goes down. It's 10 to 15 seconds of utter dominance from OpTic. You need to do what they did there. Find those kills. They run in, great smoke, Shadow Blade, BK. He gets the BKB with the Roar, which is key. You can see Crimson Guard already up, Tomb on the high ground. No one's actually going to die. In the meantime, you're going to see S4 isolated. The Shivas cancels the Blink Dagger, and in the meantime, Artur just dies in the center of the fight. I don't believe he had Phantasm up either, so I have no idea why EG's in this area of the map in the first place, because there's no towers here to take in the... Anyway, Roche is spawning soon.
It's like they felt like S4 was going to be a lot more successful going into that fight. Like his wraparound position They had Observer and Sentry on the hill, so they felt really confident. But then OpTic were so nicely split up. The Gyrocopter was never able to engage, and they almost fanned out in two different directions, going both like northwest, northeast.
Yep. And
So,
I disagreed with the Shivas, but at the same time, it gives you a vision advantage in the team fights, as we saw there. And it's so huge, you just walk up, pop a Shivas, and this is what you struggle with if you're EG, when all of your initiation is Blink Dagger dependent. You have no hero that can actually make space in a team fight naturally, especially if the CK is the one being controlled.
okay, EG have to come back. OpTic are pushing this mid lane. There's fortification available for both sides. It's like EG are trying to force that bottom lane. It's a little bit harder, but OpTic know what they can get. They take the tier 2 tower in mid. They rotate towards the top. They'll take that tier 2 tower as well. And EG, just how quick can you push? Phantasm is up. All ultimates from both teams is up. So the line's being drawn. I think OpTic Gaming just want to try and force this. They'll take the trade-off.
They're ready to.
The line was already being drawn out by Samael, I think, saying, hey, they're coming top. So the bottom lane pushes in nicely for EG, but here comes OpTic. They're committing.
Here comes the Epi.
Yep, Blink, fire strike forward, too far away. Pycat never even had to use his BKB to dodge this.
I didn't have the CK there yet. That's a very ambitious move. 3k HP, BKB ages Luna.
Were they just trying to buy time for their creep wave to do some damage on bottom, or what? Like, OpTic still have, like, Aegis as well as Cheese. They're ready to push in and fight this.
They wait out the weave. Really disciplined.
Lucent Beam onto S4. Fly trying to stay close. The flat cannon. Tombstone is down, but that's why you see EG. They fortify with their creep wave up. They need to get rid of this Tombstone. They can't reach it. With Flat Cannon down, Burrow Strike forward. They're already bailing out. The Sentry Ward battle is still there. Trying to fight the front lines. One more hit. Can they even reach it? The Tombstone's still alive. Now the Mystic Flare connects. The Samael's BKB will protect him. Stands with Arteezy, but without that Flat Cannon damage, they haven't done enough work yet. Luna will die finally thanks to the Aegis Immortal. But what is the cost? The Shallow Grave from Fly keeps Arteezy up, and he needs to back up. The Lucent Beams are trying to reach him, and they do. Buyback has to come out now from both Fly as well as from Arteezy. Your center sending S4 up and towards the air. Pycat doesn't have that Aegis Immortal, doesn't have BKB. Now the Flat Cannon from Samael can start to do some work. Got 4 charges left on it. The Burrow Strike forward from Crit. They get the information. Pycat pulled back down again by Arteezy, and they need some exit kills right now, and they'll get 2 of them. It'll be PPD as well as Pycat, but the damage. It's the tier 3 tower. It could have been worse. The buyback, I think, kind of makes it worse.
Yeah, it is. Artur, though, he died without toggling there at the end of the fight. He might have got mini-stunned by a Luna Beam or something, but he 100% did not re-toggle. His Grave faded him. You can see Luna hit 20k net worth, about 3k ahead of the Gyro. Samael, though, going very defensive item builds. That BKB Ags. He'll have Butterfly soon. No one really able to buy MKB on OpTic, but as you see, commanding fight. This third Roche will be everything.
Yeah, that's what's going to allow like either of these teams to break the base. With this tier 2 tower about to fall in mid lane, the map belongs to nobody. Even the vision game has been real difficult. I still love the fact that 33 is walking around with the stolen gem of EG, like efficiency money.
Yeah, he bought a Vlad's too. I really love his item choice. Solar Crest, he got the Shadow Blade first to control the map. Solar, Crimson, a Vlad's. Maybe armor is important in this game.
Maybe auras, armor, sure. The Observer sentries all down from EG. They want to know exactly what happens on this bottom lane. They don't want OpTic to surprise them again. The Butterfly is completed on Samael, but
Level
keep in mind
CK.
as he spends this money, he does not have buyback available. He's short by 1200.
I like the choice though. Whenever one of your cores doesn't have buyback and you're having damage issues, you gotta just spend the gold. If Gyro dies and has to buy back with Phantasm down, they're not defending the base anyway. You gotta go all in here. Pycat most likely gonna do the same. He has enough gold for his Butterfly. I'd like to see him finish it. You're gonna take fights on enemy side of the map. Buyback is not necessary, and there he goes.
He's picking it up right now. So smoked up, ability to be very aggressive.
Yep. Both teams hitting timings. Ags on Skywrath. CK now, of course, can pierce the BKBs
they found
with the reality rift.
S4 breaks the smoke. PPD couldn't get the damage in time. So they get away. New item as well is going to be that Aeon Disc for the SK.
Gotta get out. They just killed the ward, but they're in trouble still, being hunted.
33. The Observer and Sentry's down. He's got the survivability. That Aeon Disc couldn't have come at a better time. But maybe they find something else. The Yule Scepter, Dazzle. He's a lot of the armor. There's no buyback. Remember, he used it previously.
It's a huge pickoff.
No weave, no shallow grave, no survivability for Arteezy beyond what he has already.
It's a tough fight now if you're EG. You can ignore the Beastmaster, but you're going to have to deal with this Luna, but I just don't know if he's going to die. You need RNG from Arteezy.
I'm watching Crypt for this aggressive, like, epicenter again. Just anything to try and get OpTic to not push their base. The Undying Tombstone is down. They've got to keep their distance. Glaze makes it really difficult to close that distance off. DPD, yeah, they just stand it. The Tombstone is more of enough muscle, and S4, okay, he'll jump in. The BKBs are up from both sides. We're combining with the call-out and the flag cannon. Samel needs to hit hard. He's trying to go for the Tombstone, but then again, maybe Crypt. That's your epicenter. They needed more, and Crypt provides it. Is it still enough? Delina in the back lines was never really touched. Now she'll use Arteezy, but doesn't want to go for the fight. Just throw out the seal. Almost getting the kill there.
Yeah, and you can see, I really stand by. I think F4 needs a pipe. Someone needs a pipe. That Skywrath double ultimate just immediately killed CK's illusions. Like, the magic damage output of OpTic is nuts. They're just killing off CK's with just Luna ult, Lina spam, Skywrath, double everything. I mean, they lose the 1 Rax on EG, and once again, I just feel like they weren't quite as quick and decisive as they need to be. Possibly just because, again, new roster, you're not as fast as you might want to be, but that was a great taunt from S4. The CK didn't follow up until Luna had already had time to ultimate.
Yeah, it definitely feels a little odd for the way these initiations are happening. Let's have a look at it again as well. So S4 gets the initial jump onto Pycat. Both BKBs are up.
Look at the time. There's no time. And all of a sudden, Luna's BKB, the ult's going off. Like, if CK's there right away, he might just explode. Crit gets an incredible 3-man burrow epi off, which really just saves the fight. If they don't kill Luna there, they're losing 2 racks at least, and probably just the game. I like the Mjolnir as well now on the Lina. Again, deal with the CK illusions, you're dealing with the CK. You don't actually need to take down Artur. Just ensure that there's only one of them to deal with, not 5.
Yeah, but you are right though. Like the Phantasm, if he used that before S4's jump in, they could have got the kill nice and quick and just moved on. Samael as well, I think, is also being massively punished because of that BKB timing. It's down to 5 seconds. He just cannot be immune for long enough in the fight. And with so much magical damage that OpTic throw at him, it's painful to say the least.
OpTic, you're playing around 2 big spells, the Flak and the CK ult. CK ult now going to be down for another 14 seconds, but it's up soon. You got to kill the Lina if you're EG. He's the real turret of damage at the moment, but more importantly, I think he's a hell of a lot squishier than Luna. Half the HP, half the armor, plus the Mjolnir. You can't allow him to sit in the back lines, shredding through the Phantasm.
They're looking for a fight. Both sides, EG trying to play the high ground, the Beastmaster unit's able to scout out everything else, and OpTic, they're still waiting for Roshan. He's going to be 1 minute and 40 seconds away, but these teams don't know that. Only we know that. But the smoke up from EG, they're coming to initiate.
So tense.
You can't walk up the hill. Again, PPD's in the perfect position. He's going to break it. They have to wrap around, and that's the line that's already been drawn out by Crit.
Yeah, but OpTic knows. You can see they're not sleeping here. They understand the sort of game they're in. They just stand on this high ground, play around Roshan, and again, optimizing their items.
So far around. Where's this? Like, they don't have scans. Both teams don't have scans, but this is great for OpTic. They're going to get the jump in, and, well, actually, no, it's the other way around. Arteezy! He actually gets initiating in. Samel throws out the flag cannon, but the damage output way too high. OpTic Gaming go through the EG cause. Arteezy going to be the next one on the list. Goes up to CCNC, but you'll set her up here. Crit! A huge epicenter and fly! He actually hits him so hard with a Shadow Wave, but still, isn't enough. Pycat stands his ground. Arteezy wants to do the work, but the Tombstone's already down. EG. I thought they had the initiation when S4 jumped in, then the follow-up Burrow Strike from Crypt, but it still wasn't enough.
They killed CCNC immediately, but he bought back right away. You're fighting on enemy shrine. So he is, in fact, he's right back immediately. They almost killed him again, but there wasn't a sentry down. Fly had to swap the ward to sentry in his inventory, and it just took too long. He lived with 100 HP.
Oh boy, OpTic. I think with that as the game, they're going to take mid easily. And they can just take the tier 4 towers with no heroes from EG alive apart from the SK. He cannot defend this. OpTic, okay, they're being real safe. They're going for the Megas first. Okay, the calls also come out. And just go for the tier 4 towers. They obviously do not have buyback. It's on cooldown for 30 more seconds. Crit reveals himself with a double Burrow Strike, just trying to buy time for S4 to come back to the world. The living can crit, and S4 actually do it again. The Burrow Strike again crit. Just keep the creep wave out. OpTic take the Megas, and they're going to retreat. They're going to give EG a potential chance to come back in this game. And I'm saying that very, very loosely.
It's big as well. Peter also died and bought back, but that meant he not only dropped the tomb, but died and had another tomb. So it's just so hard for EG to fight into that. Sumail, so aggressive with his positioning, but at the same time, you just run out of damage once Flak goes down. There's just, it's a gyrocopter. You get 9 attacks. That's pretty much it.
This draft was meant to work for EG. Like, it was meant to be the Chaos Knight who was the unstoppable one. How the hell has it gone so wrong for them so many times that OpTic are now 14k ahead and mega creeped EG?
So I think OpTic better understood the game state. I mean, look at their optimization and their items. Like the Vlad's Crimson Solar on Beast. PPD's running around with Urn and a casual Buckler, because obviously he's not exactly the richest member of his team. Skywrath with 4 Sags, Yules, Lina getting the Shivas. I mean, they have so much control of armor that, yeah, you're able to burst them down, but when you're fighting on the enemy side of the map and they can buy back, that was a one-team fight from EG, but Lina and Undying were immediately back in the fight. They effectively had 2 Aegises in that team fight.
Yeah.
EG didn't have the luxury of a single one.
And this time around, like, it's going to be Pycat who's got the extra life, and he's got the refresher orb, so he'd be very happy just to BKB at the beginning of the fight, die, then put the refresher shard in and just go nuts.
It's a hard game now, of course. Mega creeps up. You're going to need a Rapier on the gyrocopter, most likely. Even have a chance.
They're going to harass in their base no matter what. Global concussive shots from the Skywrath Mage. Slow it down, Sumail. Pycat making the most of the creep wave as his buffer. They know they have to start working through this creep wave. Arteezy doing the best he can for the Demon Edge for any kind of damage you can get, but beyond your effect onto the Luna. Attack at your own peril. Crit does it with the Burrow Strike forward. They want to burn through the BKB, but then again, first Tombstone goes to work. Sumail with a flat cannon, doing some decent clearance, but he can't really survive this. They finally bring down the Tombstone. Arteezy, he goes for Reality Rip, but then OpTic just turn up the heat. They bring down Arteezy because he doesn't have the BKB anymore. Into the face, Crit and Burrow Strike forward. River Luna still got the Aegis model. The creep wave is doing everything they need to do against the Ancient. It's over. OpTic take game 1 against Evil Geniuses, and this is elimination law bracket round 2 as well.
I think OpTic had a better read on the game. They played faster, more of a unit, just more split-second decision-making. It felt like they were more prepared for those big game-changing engagements. I thought their item choice was better. Future games, Skywrath, been picked so many times. Think of it like a Zeus. Buy a pipe against it. You don't have one up, his damage output, I want to see the numbers real fast, but I'm sure they were just off the chain, off the chart, rather.
Damage output for Skywrath Mage was 28,000.
Yeah.